Hello, Red Sox fans, and welcome to another Talk Sox video. Brandon and I are here to tell you some news. Some of you might have seen it, some of this might be breaking news to you, but Roman Anthony is staying in Boston for quite some time. He has signed an 8-year deal with a hefty paycheck attached to it, and we're here to talk about it. So, Brandon, what are your thoughts on Roman Anthony staying in Boston for quite some time?
Yeah, we've had a lot of articles on Talk Sox about this. I'm sure you guys watching have probably read most of them. This is a great move. Roman Anthony, after Rafael Devers was traded, Roman Anthony sort of like unofficially became the face of the franchise, and now this contract effectively makes him the face of the franchise. 130 million guaranteed, upwards of 230 million with incentives. It's a very large deal for a rookie player. We just had a piece on this on the Talk Sox front page about how this is like the third largest contract ever given to an outfielder under 22 years old. So, I mean, like, this is a huge investment in a guy that had a lot of cheap team control, but it's obviously one of those situations where the Red Sox saved a bunch of money in that Rafael Devers trade. That was very clearly one of their priorities. And when they moved him off the team to the San Francisco Giants, and now they are showing us that they're willing to reinvest it in their core players. And they've been doing this for the last couple of years, extending some of their younger guys. They gave Brian Bayo a contract extension a few years ago, Cedane Rafaela. They did Christian Campbell earlier this year. Roman Anthony is the big one, though. This is both in terms of the size of the contract and the actual magnitude of the player on the roster. This is the big extension that's going to sort of determine the next decade of Red Sox baseball. And overall, it's very expensive for a guy that had a lot of cheap team control remaining. But this is the kind of move that you make when you believe in the core that you've built on the franchise.
I don't want to say I'm surprised about that they're going to keep him for so long or the price. I mean, if you look back just about a month ago, to have him at the DH slot before they put him out into right field, to have a prospect move up to the major leagues and immediately put him in the DH spot, I think was hint enough that they were looking to keep him around for quite a good amount of time. Um, Again, he's a power hitting threat. He was talked about in whispers and in loud cheers for quite some time. And when he finally got the call up to the major leagues, this was a big thing. And again, I always say knock on wood that there's no injuries that happen ruining his career early on. But I'm really not surprised about this.
No, yeah, I think again the Red Sox have made a habit of this in recent years, and it's actually something we'll talk about shortly. But I think that it's, again, Craig Breslow and the front office have made a point that this era of the Red Sox is going to be built from within. Again, you have Brian Bayo, you have Campbell, you have Rafaela. Garrett Crochet was traded for, but then he was immediately extended on his big contract. Again, this is a team that is targeting its players, developing its players, and then keeping its players. Again, that's not to say there won't be more outside additions like Crochet, but again, Roman Anthony was the best prospect in baseball before he sort of graduated from that status. He's having one of the best rookie seasons that we've seen in quite some time. I mean, his stats are off the charts, especially from July. He was unstoppable. He was basically an all-star in July. He's got, an OPS over 800, a WRC plus over 125. He's already been worth 1.5 WAR according to Fangraphs. I mean, this is a really good baseball player in every facet of the game, especially at the plate, as you mentioned. I mean, they brought him up and he immediately started playing DH, which, you have to be a pretty good bat to do that. And so, I mean, again, it's a testament to who he is as a player, the fact that he's a 21-year-old kid that is now going to be inextricably tied, to the Red Sox hopefully for the next 8 years. Obviously, we saw what happened with Devers, but I think that ultimately, again, this is a statement, a very loud statement from the organization. Especially in conjunction with the trade deadline that was rather quiet. Of we are going to build from within. It is out. We're going to pick our guys. We're going to develop them the way that we want to, and those are the guys that are going to determine the next 10 years of Red Sox baseball. And
Yeah,
if you can go
no,
ahead.
no, go on, go on.
Well, and just ultimately, I think that as a fan, that should have you feeling confident in the direction of the team, which I know I was especially shaken by at the deadline because I thought that the team should have gone one way or the other, either trade their rentals or, pick up some more guys other than just Steven Matz and Dustin May. I felt kind of burned by it. I kind of am now sort of beginning to buy into this whole philosophy that they're engaging with, which is just we're doing this for the long term. We're keeping this window of contention open as long as possible, and we're going to do it with our guys.
Yeah, I just wanted to echo that. You kind of took the words out of my mouth where what you and I headed up to the trade deadline where we're like, we need these guys, we need the Red Sox to buy because we're not having a great season. We're only in front of the Orioles, which, what they freaking do. But again, we were in complete shock when we only picked up two players. And the words we kept using are the Red Sox are not afraid to spend money. They're not afraid to get rid of good players. However, after the trade deadline happened and we only picked up two players, and I don't want to throw shade to Matz and May, but at the end of the day, you are right here that we are big spenders, but we're big spenders in the sense of already in our system, we're big spenders. We
Yeah.
just signed this 8-year contract with a pretty hefty price on it. So the belief that I think that Craig Breslow and the front office have is that they believe in this investment of Roman Anthony. And again, I think that all points in the right direction that if you're willing to spend this money on this young 21-year-old kid, then the investment is there. If not, it might blow up all in your face, but you have time, right? It's only his first year in the majors, so we'll see.